Morning, lovies. So I got up and I'm having my Earl Grey tea, writing in my little composition notebook in my sanctuary, and I wanted to reach out and talk about that. So we have a guest bedroom that I have filled with that I use for my clothes, my closet in here. My husband and I have separate closets. Anyway, so I have books in here. I've got a TV, so if I'm ever feeling sick, I can just watch movies or anime or whatever. But lately, actually, after a friend showed me, there's videos on YouTube without ads for music, which is fantastic. So I've really enjoyed watching and listening to those. But I have my favorite pictures and my little table where I can burn incense and my little stuffies, which I love collecting. So just hope that you have a place where you can, be quiet with yourself and make time for yourself. That's really important, just to slow down and give yourself 10 minutes. Wake up and instead of going to your phone immediately, think of things that you're grateful for. Write a list of things that you're thankful for. All the abundance in your life, even if you don't see it, it's there. I feel like I have the more gratitude, I should say, that I have for the things that I have and the people in my life, the less I find I need on a material sense. And what I do have is very abundant. I mean, I feel very lucky to have a house and have a separate space just for me, and that kind of security. Not everybody has that. So even if you have a corner in your room, create something, a space just for you, to kind of work out your feelings or do whatever you love, draw, color, write, whatever it is, make music, anything to let you be in your own space with yourself and learn to be okay with that. It took me a while to feel love for myself, and that was really hard to get through. When I was a teenager and everything is always awkward, it's kind of difficult, growing up, and back then I would compare my body, my life, my everything I had with, all the fantasy people, celebrities, stuff I saw in magazines, whatever you see on TV, movies, commercials. So that's something I've learned not to do anymore. Because the more grateful that I feel with myself and where I'm at, and all the abundance that I have, even little things, getting up every day and seeing the birds fly across the sky as little signals, and the connections with people, it's been really pretty amazing when you slow down and listen to the universe. So anyway, I hope that you have a space, or try to make a space for yourself. Even if it's, in the bathroom taking a bath, for like half an hour just to yourself. Door closed, music on, candles lit. That's one thing that I like to do. But, try to, spend 5-10 minutes in your car. If you get to work early, just take a moment. Or if you're off work or a break or whatever, give yourself that peace to work through, to quiet your mind, quiet your stress, breathe. It can be hard to work through a lot of stuff. But like I was saying, so the more grateful I feel, the less I feel like I need to compare. And now I just want to elevate others and help others see the beauty that they have in themselves, and share my journey. By lifting myself up, I'm hoping to help others. So I would say having this sacred space for me has been very healing. I can just come in here and relax and focus on the things that I need to do, like write or do my tarot cards, or just be at peace, listen to music, burn some incense, write my feelings out, have a therapy session, whatever. It's really helped navigate me to making all these steps to be where I am right now. So that's, I think the first step is just creating time for yourself is so important. It's it's hard to do in this crazy busy world that we're in. It's hard to make time because everything else seems so important, right? But it's you are more important than everything else. And we are all part of something bigger than everything else. And my incense. Anyway, so we're all part of the human condition, of human connection, And when you slow down and, look at yourself, all the things you've been through, it's really difficult. For me, it was very hard. My first therapy session 6 months ago, 5-6 months ago, it was back in June. Well, before that, I hit a turning point in my life, not just having the restaurant, but kind of in the middle of that, before I decided to quit. My husband and I were having like this very hard conversation about, trying to connect. And when I felt at the time unwanted to myself, it was hard for me to be open with others and be open with my husband and be open with myself, to share what I really felt, what I was really going through, because I couldn't really describe it at the time. And I knew if I couldn't tell him, then I needed help. So we've been together for 10 years now, and it's been a wild ride, but I'm so grateful for that and having someone to share my life. But at the time, I was depressed, and really my self-talk was so negative to myself. It's hard to say now, but that's where my mindset was. I didn't think I looked good in the mirror. I didn't like the clothes that I had. I didn't feel good in what I wore. I just had this terrible self-image from, I don't know, society's whatever image of beauty is, which now is ridiculous to think about, but then it was like I was in it, you know. So I had to forgive those parts of me and work through, you know, the vision I had of myself not being enough. And that's really hard to do for me. And just making the decision to start therapy and kind of talk through my issues. Luckily, I found somebody that I can connect with. So my first session, I was really vulnerable, and I couldn't even tell my husband about it because I was so emotional. Just for like a week and a half, I was like, I just told him I would share eventually, but I'm just not ready. It was too painful. It was too raw. About just not having love for myself and having terrible self-talk and just degrading myself over and over. And it was, you know, your body listens to what you say to yourself, so please just be nice to yourself. Start to change your self-talk. But what helped me the most was starting self-care, because I didn't really know what that meant in the beginning. You know, I just heard terms like, oh, you know, if I look on Pinterest or whatever and look up self-care, then you have these millions of ideas of like, oh, just go for a walk, or have, you know, a cup of hot chocolate, or, you know, take a bath, or read, or, you know, all these things to do. But I didn't really connect with it because it was, you know, stuff that I would do like maybe once a week, once a month, whatever. And it was just something nice once in a while. But to do it every day, like I've been doing, has completely changed my mindset on how I look at myself, how I feel about myself, the gratitude I have. The self-talk is way more positive now. I enjoy the clothes that I wear, and how I look, and how I'm challenging myself to do this channel. And yeah, still emotional. So the thing that really helped me with the idea of self-care for myself was to just start the list, like I talked about in the other video. Start a list about, sit for 5, 10 minutes, 30 minutes if you have time. You know, focus on you. Think about you, what you love to do, what brings you joy, what makes you happy, and write it down. It could be anything, whatever comes to your mind. Just spend 5 minutes and write that stuff down, and then see if you can implement those things on a daily or weekly basis. And for me, I eventually turned it into this routine, a daily self-care routine, which has helped me grow exponentially. So I guess just start. Just don't be afraid to start. Just challenge yourself to look inside, find out what makes you happy, and baby step from there, you know? Breathe and know that you're human, and it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay to not be okay with where you're at. It's okay to not be okay. It's important to feel your feelings, and it's important to breathe through them and keep moving forward. So I just wanted to share that today. But like I said, you are my lovelies, and I appreciate all of you. And send love out to all. And hope we have a brighter day. I guess that's all for now. So, till next time, lovelies.